It's Charlie, and I'm coming to you today from my locals community with your daily dose of business inspiration. Sorry if I'm looking a little bit glowy today, for these sets of videos anyway. Been out in the sun all weekend and I didn't realize I caught quite as much sun as I did, and I think I'm a bit rosy. Might be the answer for that. Anyway, come on over and join me at askcharlielatham.locals.com. Follow along or become a supporter to join in the conversation. To be a supporter is just $2 US per month. That ensures we aren't hit by spammers and trolls, but it also helps me to keep on creating content like this, like my podcast, like the tutorials that go out. Hope you find all of that really useful, by the way. Now let's get on with our daily dose of business inspiration. The note I have here today is don't force, offer and let things go as they will. That sounds kind of new agey and a bit woo-woo, doesn't it? But let's get into it because it's something that came up in one of my podcast interviews, which will be going live soon with Beth Bergen. And we were talking about leadership qualities, and the topic came up, and you'll hear about it in the podcast. But I just thought I wanted to dig into a little bit deeper because it's something that I see business owners, particularly service businesses, doing with people, and I think sometimes you're just creating more problems than they're worth for you. So let's talk about it. Sorry. Fill a word, trying to stop that. Don't force, offer, and let things go as they will. How often do you see someone doing something and you go, that's not how you do it. You do it this way. And your first response, or one of your first responses, is stop doing that. Do it this way. It works better. And I bet you the response you get 9 times out of 10, or let's use the 80-20 rule, 8 times out of 10 is, I'm doing it my way. And people dig their heels in and it gets really, really stubborn. Now I'm going to give you an example, a really practical example of this, and how it applied to me and how I learnt this so clearly with people. Now, instead of saying to someone, hey, listen, don't stop doing it that way, do it this way. Have you thought about and have you tried doing something like, oh, hey, listen, I noticed that you're doing it this way and you seem to be having some problems. May I show you how I do it? And maybe you'll find something in that works for you that isn't working now. Now, the reason I like to take that approach, and I will give you the practical world example shortly, but the reason I like to take that approach is, first of all, you're giving them agency. You're giving the person that you're offering that help to say no graciously. You are not coming, sorry, I've got to be very careful with the language here. I'm going to use the term you're not coming across as a know-it-all, or the level of arrogance is lowered. And I know you don't feel that you're being arrogant, but sometimes it can come across that way, that I know what I'm doing and you'll stop. Now I know I get that way with people. Sometimes I do that to people, say just do it this way, it works so much better. And then when people come back to me and say, hey, listen, that's not how you do it, you do it this way, I'm like, I beg your pardon. I really get my back up. I'm a very stubborn woman and I really get my back up. But if they come to me and say, hey, listen, I noticed you were doing this. Have you thought about trying it this way? It's okay if you have and it didn't work for you, but have you thought about trying it this way? Because I'll take that normally as oh, great, it's a learning experience for me. I can try something new and see if it works better. And then you just need to be able to let it go. Once you've done that, you need to be able to let it go and let the person work it out themselves. Work out whether your way works, whether their way works, whether they need to do a conglomeration of it to make it work. Now, sometimes you can't. Sometimes there has to be a specific process, specific things, milestones hit when you're doing something. But the steps that you take, or the little individual micro actions that you take between those steps and those milestones, don't have to be exactly the same. As long as we're getting the overall result, is that better than having someone doing it exactly the way you want it to do and not getting the result you're looking for? So that's where I sort of come from when I'm talking about this. Now, the example that I can give you, because I've given you one from my personal, like for me personally, but the example I can give you is again my son, great inspiration at times. He brought home a math problem, and this new math, I don't know about you guys, but I like my old math. I like my old, very simple, build it up from the bottom, make it all work. He brought home this math, and it's like, this is how I have to do, I think it was long division he was doing. It was long division or long multiplication, one of the two. And he's like, and I've got to do it this way. And I'm looking at it going, that makes absolutely no sense to me. I cannot see how that's working and how you're supposed to be able to do this sustainably through your life. Like, he wasn't getting the foundations for it. So first of all, I said, well, look, just do it this way. And he said, no, mum, no, mum. The school says I have to do it this way. The teacher wants it done this way. I'm going to do it this way. I had to take a really deep breath and walk away because he was digging his heels in. It wasn't helping him at all. Like, that became completely adversarial. It wasn't helping him at all. He wasn't getting his math done. And later on, he's still going on, he's still doing it. I came up and said, okay, look, let me try this again. May I show you how I do it? You may find something that works for you in that. If not, it's okay, but may I show you? And he said, yeah, sure, okay, you can show me. Because at that point, I hadn't gone to the do it this way. It was like, let me show you how I do it, because I can do this. And you know, I struggle with maths. It's ridiculous. I'm a tech and I struggle with maths. But there you go. You know, I struggle with it. You know that I've had to build up all these little techniques to get through. So let me show you how. May I show you? Not let me. May I show you how I do it? So I showed him, and he sat there, and he shut his eyes, he blinked, and he's like, oh my goodness. He said, why don't they show us that? I don't know, but do you think you can use something out of that? He goes, yes, I can. And he took that to school, and he was doing that at school, and the teacher went, well, that's a really good way of doing it. We don't teach that anymore. Anyway, he used that method all the way through the rest of his schooling, and it was perfect. I took the adversity out of it. I took the I know better than you out of it. I took I took all of that out of it, and I said to him, look, I understand. I implied, I understand that you're a different person. I understand you do things differently. Here's one way of looking at it. Why don't you try it? Worked great. Anyway, that's what I mean by don't force, offer, and let things go as they will. Is that something that you can do? Is there commentary you have on that? Have you had positive experiences like that? Have you had negative experiences on it? Let me know. I'd love to know in the comments below. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channels, ring the notification bells, and if you're on a place that can give reviews or stars or thumbs up, do that as well for me. That would be great because that really helps the algorithms apparently. All right, guys, I will see you all tomorrow.